everyone, it's Morgyn from For the Love of Paper, and I'm here with another project for Kitaholic Kits. I am using all three of the kits on this layout. So the main kit, the embellishment kit, and the mixed media kit. I'm scrapping this photo of Sam and Roman reading a book together. I actually used an app on my phone called Color Effects. I have an iPhone, so I don't know if it's on Android. And I made the photo black and white, and then I just colored or recolored the book that they were looking at, and it's got blue and green on it. So this layout was pretty much black and white with hints of blue and green. That's kind of what I was going with, and I wanted to use up some of these frames that came in the chipboard pack. So that's kind of what I was going for here. Now I initially start with this pattern paper that's got the black scripty font all over it. And looking back now, I still really like it, but I end up changing it up a little bit later on. So don't get too used to that. I just thought it looked a little bit too busy. But actually I still kind of like it now I'm looking back at it again. Now I sped this part up because I was going through all the ephemera pieces and the exclusive die cut pieces and just pulling bits out and seeing where they would fit, where they looked good. This process did take me quite a while because I fiddle around with every little bit that could possibly go anywhere until I get it to a point that I quite like it. And as you can see there, I've pulled out that tag piece and to kind of match with the green in that frame above. And then this green of the washi tape actually really matches the green in the book, which I know you probably can't see very well. The page was half green, half blue. And the photo was Sam actually read the whole story to Roman, and Roman sat there and watched or listened the entire time. And it's one of those touchy-feely books where, like, I can't even remember, it was a duck, and every page there was something that you could touch or feel or something made a noise. So he was just enthralled with that, and then Sam was actually able to read every page, which is a big milestone for him. So it was really, really great, and that's why I've snapped the photo, and I knew I wanted to scrapbook it. And this kit probably wouldn't be my first pick to scrapbook that, only because the collection is a case of the blahs, so it's kind of everyday mundane things and things like sad and like day on the couch and stuff like that. So it probably wouldn't have been my first choice, but I managed to pick out a few of the labels and words and things like that that actually fitted with what I want. Like this sign that's the little, what is it? Oh my goodness, the word that says real, because it is real life. And then the one that I've tucked in above that main photo, the one I'm fiddling with now, that says I can do anything. And then underneath it, it says, but not right now. So that part didn't apply, but I can do anything does apply because Sam doesn't think he can read very well, doesn't think he could ever read a book, and he managed to read this whole book. So that kind of fitted. And then I cut down one of the puffy stickers that said, did it say not cool? Yeah, it said not cool on it. So I just trimmed off the not and put cool on there. So I've made this kit work really well for the photo that I had. So I love that. I love it when you can manipulate things a little bit and make them suit perfectly, when in the first instance looking at it, it might not suit as well as you would like, but I think it came out really neat. And so this is where I've switched to some plain white cardstock, and then I decided that it was too plain and white, so I went and got out the spray from the mixed media kit, This is green apple, I think it's just called apple. And then I mixed in a little bit of water to make it really, really light wash of green. And I just did it in that bottom corner there, and then the top left corner. In hindsight, I wished I hadn't actually done that top one, but it was done, so too late. I didn't want to get another whole piece of paper out. Then I mixed a little bit more water with some more of the spray, but made it a bit darker, so didn't add quite as much water, and added a few splatters to each of those painted sections. Oh, sorry, my nose. Feels like bubbles just went up my nose. Oh, sorry. Now I'm starting to adhere. I do just adhere this piece because I wanted to get it in the middle where it was going to be, so that I could add my next little piece. So just lining everything up again to make sure it's in the right spot before I do, I guess, my title. Just add a little bit of glue under there. So I don't stick anything else down at this stage, but I do get out, what did I get out? Oh, sorry, I do stick this part down because I knew it wasn't going to be affected by my title. Now for my title, I went to the printer, I went to my computer, and am I not doing my title now? Let's wait and see. Oh, am I lining everything up again? Oh, I might be doing that. Sorry. So you've actually already seen me do this, but I'm fluffing around, getting it all sitting nicely again to, I think, basically to make sure my title will actually fit. Because I went to my printer and I printed off the word books, and then I use that to stitch onto the page. Now I was going to use that light blue paper as my background, but I don't end up doing that. I end up doing it with a black piece of paper right at the end. Now this part, I wanted something to fit in behind that long green that you can see at the top there, that frame. So none of these individually would be big enough to fit inside that frame. So I trimmed down a couple of strips and then found two that I knew I probably wouldn't use. Well, actually, that one there, it says nap time on it, and I did want to use the nap time piece. So I very carefully, can't say that right, put it off to the side and trimmed around it on the reverse. And then I was able to keep my little nap time label, which I know I'll be able to use because if you're a parent, you will know that you have taken photos of your kids napping. Everyone's done it, I'm pretty sure. And if you haven't, you should be. It kind of sounds a little weird, but yeah, I've got tons of photos of my kids napping and sleeping because they look so cute and innocent, and they're not annoying you at that moment. Even though you want to just grab them and hug them, you know that they need to be asleep because you need your sanity. I think that's why we have those photos. I really do. Anyway, here we go. So I took all those pieces off, and there's my Word that I printed out. I can't remember what font I used. It was just something in Word. And then you've probably all done this technique. I remember doing it when I was in primary school, scribbling over the back and then tracing around the outside edge, flipped over the other way. So then it gives you an outline or an imprint or transfer. I can't think of the right word that I want, like a carbon copy. That's what I want to say. And then I got out my piercing tool and made holes all around the edge. Now that process actually took me about an hour. To do the stitching, I actually went outside and sat outside with the boys while they ran around and played on their scooters and bikes and whatever, and I just stitched all of that word while I was sitting out there with them, which is cool actually. I got to do what I wanted to do, and they got to do what they wanted to do. It was a happy place, happy time for everybody. So that did take me a while. I think this layout, all up including that, probably took me about an hour and a half. So it is quite a long layout for me, but I really enjoyed it, and I think I've decided I need to do some more stitching on my layouts. Yes, I definitely need to add some more stitching on my layouts. So I'm up to sticking everything down into its right places. Now, I did move this over from the edge because as I was sticking it down, and then this one I moved up, I knew that I wanted to chop off the side so that I could have a black matte border around the whole thing. So that's why I've moved those over there, to give me a little bit of a margin on that side and the bottom. So that was nice and easy. I think I chopped off maybe 3/4 of a centimeter, so not too much. Now I add in my journaling. So I think I just wrote about how Sam had read this whole book to Roman, something like that. It wasn't very much, but enough to tell the story. And I haven't put a date on this photo. I just realized I haven't put a date on. I might add a date in there somewhere. And I actually, now I'm looking at it again, I think I want to go back and do some more stitching just in really little words in between the R and the D, in that gap at the top. I think I might do read, or I might do a stamp. I think I've got a stamp that says read, so like read books. Because my boys are always got books out. They're always reading and looking at the pictures, and they're little bookworms, which is great. I love that. I used to be like that when I was a kid, but I don't get time to read anymore. That's a luxury I can't afford. So now I'm going through and what am I doing? Oh, taping up the entire back of this so that I can stick it onto the black cardstock. Now I do this in sections because I've done it all before where I've ripped all of it out and stuck it down, and the whole thing's gone crooked and warped and just been a terrible mess. So now I've learnt from my past mistakes, and I just do it in little sections. So I'll peel off one bit from the middle and then a little bit down each side, and then do the next one and the next one, so on, so forth. And then you can kind of iron out any creases on there. There's a little bit of a bubble there, but you can kind of get it a bit smoother, especially because I put water on the page and so it was already a bit warped. This really helped de-warp it. Is that a word? Well, if it's not, I made it up. I de-warped the page, and I think that's it. Oh no, some enamel dots, because no layout could be complete without some enamel dots, and the colors in this are just perfect. I wanted to use more colors, but I also really wanted to stick to just the green and the no, I don't even use the yellow. I just used the green. So that was my color theme, and I don't really use a lot of green, and this layout has mainly green on it and black and white. And then I add a little border in around the edge, and that is this layout done. So there will be links below to the Kitaholics Facebook group, and also the page where you can go and subscribe or buy yourself some kits, because you know you want one, because this is amazing. Yeah, so all of that will be down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed to this channel or to the Kitaholic Kits channel, wherever you are watching this. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.